This has been a nightmare. See that water running out of there? Finally. When they foamed this in, it's welded here all the way across on these ribs, and then these they drill like 1-inch holes here. See here, I still got to go from here to there, and they stick a wand in here halfway and foam on the way out. Same thing on the other side, stick a wand in and foam on the way out. Well, this thing was holding tons of water in it, which is bad enough in itself. But if I go in here and get salt water in here, it can't come out. I made things. I put this from the back. I took this 22 caliber gun cleaning and I put it together one thing at a time, and took a little ball peen, put a little tiny pair of vice grips on the put it together one piece at a time from the back, and then I would tap on it with a pair of vice grips clipped to it and get it all the way up to just the threads holding out, and then put another section on. So I came from the back, and then I came from the front with these pieces of cable that I made, cut off certain lengths. But the situation with the cable is you got to run the drill backwards, or it just unwinds under there. And so anyway, I cut these 3-4-inch pie hatches, and I have been working on this thing, and I've got little picks and scrapers and you name it, they're in here. Screwdrivers and razor blade scrapers to cut the foam and make a channel. But you see, this is the first time that water's ever started draining. I got one of these ribs. See these ribs right here? See the one with the water in it now? That's one I just cleared, but the actual drain is right over here, and this is the rib I cleared. Now this thing is an aluminum tube that goes all the way to the bow in case you want to run wires in here and put in like running lights or trolling motor power up to the bow. But see, there's two more over here. But it has been a job. That's the first time. And everybody said, well, why don't you just take it back to the manufacturer? I can't do that because it was new old stock. Yeah, I guess somebody went out of business. I've got this boat about half of what they normally cost. So there really wasn't a whole lot I could do about that. It was, as is where. And then it's not just this boat. The G3s, from what I've read online anyway, even the Boston Whalers, they get the foam gets, wet. And the bad part about this is these things where they foamed it in, you can just take a fingernail. I mean, they're not watertight by any means. And then where they put this deck in, they set the deck in, and then they stitch. Let me see here. They stitch weld. They weld, then they quit, then they weld, then they quit, then they weld, blah, 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 all the way up. Well, every time it rains, water comes right down in here between where it's not welded. It's not sealed with silicone or anything. But as you can see, there's water up. There's water up here too. See? So, anyway, I've been trying to put a channel down through here. And like I say, I finally got this one. As long as I can rinse it out with good soapy water, but if this thing gets salt water in it and you can't drain it, it's going to eat this boat out from the inside out. So that's been my whole situation here is, running around trying to plane 300 or 400 gallons of water. It's just been a nightmare. Anyway, this, if I can get this out, Anyway, that's my grab bar. I got rod holders. I'm going to put some PVC in these rod holders and come up and then go around a 90, another 90. That way, whoever's sitting on this cooler right here can lean back against it, and they won't hit the back of my GPS fish finder and the cables going to it, you know, the power and the transducer cable. So, and I only have so much time, you know, to work with these projects. I built that little standoff right here to keep this from, you know, coming up against here, because this won't open. And I just want to tie it back, you know, where it doesn't move, because this won't, there's no drain in these. You've got to take these coolers all the way out and dump them, which is fine. So anyway, this is why I haven't been using this thing. It's just been, you know, it's been a nightmare. I'm not crying. I mean, you know, I got it. What else I do? That's it. I added these big trim tabs to it, so that's going to help too. But, you know, I wasn't going to take this thing and put it in the salt water till I could get the water out of it. I mean, that's ridiculous, but it is what it is. Still got to remount the transducer, because I put these big tabs on here, and they actually go farther than where the transducer was mounted before. But that's okay. That's just 2 screws. Won't be a big deal. Anyway, that's my progress report. In case anybody's wondering, well, whatever happened to his dive boat? Well, been sitting here and I've been working on it as I can, you know, in between my work. I'll quit rambling. Thanks for watching. It shall be in the water. When? Who knows? But soon, I hope.